Yo, 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 what's up? This is Coach Stokes. Welcome back to Coach Stokes' Champion Creed, the podcast where we explore the essence of champions and the coaches who mold them. In today's episode, we have the distinct honor of featuring Coach Claudia Kenyon, a true force in the world of strength conditioning and boxing. With over 3 decades of boxing experiences under his belt, Coach Kenyon's journey from fighter to coach is nothing short of inspirational. As the owner of Fit Forever 365 LLC, training business, and the Unite Central PA Boxing Club, Coach Kenyon's impact on the sport is profound. His dedication to fundamental excellence has propelled numerous athletes to state, national, and international acclaim, with several even making waves in the professional realm. Join us as we dig into the join me as we dig into Coach Kenyon's insights, expertise, and the champion's creed that drives his coaching philosophy. With further ado, Coach Kenyon, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. How you doing, man? Nice to meet you, Mr. Stokes. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you as well. Me and his brother was on the junior elite training camp last summer, man, in San Diego or Chula Vista. And first day I met this brother, man, it was like the first day I saw him, he brings a liveliness, a bubbliness about him. So when you meet him, like me, I don't go around a lot of people, man. People may say that I'm an introvert. Hey, it is what it is, man. But my wife would definitely tell you, when I like you, it's like I honestly love you. And Claudia, I honestly would say, brother, if you was not in that camp, man, camp would have been real rough for real. And not just for me, but I think as a total, man, because everybody loved you. We look forward to seeing you. Seriously, man. Even if it look like I mean mug, I'm not mean mugging. I may look like this, and I'm smiling still. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
So, but I just want to tell you, brother, man, we needed you, man, and I hope that everything that God has in store for you comes in fruition, and it already is, man. Congratulations on your new establishment. But I honestly just want to tell you, man, like if you ever need anything, on my behalf, I'm serious. Don't be scared to reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to me, and I mean that anytime, man. You got my number, you got my bat phone, so don't say, I didn't go ahead and say, you couldn't. But that's
Yes,
honestly with
sir.
love, man. For real.
Much love, man. Much love both ways, man.
So before we get started, could you please let my audience know uh, who is Coach Claudie?
Um, I'm I'm a no nonsense coach. I'm very stern in what I do. I love my kids, man. I run a nonprofit. So my nonprofit is basically, getting underprivileged kids, disciplinary kids off the street, where we sponsor them for the year for the membership. We pay for the whole membership. We pay for all the equipment. It's a year program. They got to be in for a year, and after a year, if they succeed, we establish commitment again, and we do another sponsorship. We keep on sponsoring the kids. Our goal is to get the kids off the street, teach them a better way, not only fighting, but we teach them, for respect, the discipline part of that, and also teach them how to be adults.
Coach, you said a year, and I like that idea because you give me some ideas for my RISE program, Resilient Youth Striving for Excellence, is the exact similar fashion. But and I will talk to you. I'm not trying to sell my program, but I want you to hear this as well. Maybe we can collaborate because my thing is, to save kids off the streets. But not only that, though, having boxers and their coaches being able to afford traveling expenses, like going to a local show or going to, a lot of kids that just, within our hoods, where we at, man, they've only been in that area. That's it. They've never been outside of
Exactly.
their city. They've never been outside their city. So we want to go ahead and forward them to go ahead and be able to go to the nationals, go to the regionals, and not only that, they'll have per diem on the side for money and be able to pay for their expenses. So I would love to collaborate with you on that because it's just not going to be a California thing. It's going to be a nationwide thing, man, that I want to go ahead and do because you know
That's
what, man?
awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yes, yes,
Yep, I'm down with that.
cool. I'll talk to you more about it. But you said a year. Have you ever had a fighter say, "Coach, I don't know about a year. How can I start off with a month? I don't know how I'm going to do." Or like even the parents say, like, "Well, a year is a big commitment, but it really isn't a big commitment."
Yeah, basically, I'm glad you brought that point up. We do a probationary period when we do an intake with the family, and well, we put our both place period. Once they get accepted by our board,
Mhm.
we take it back to the board after intake. The board votes if yes or no if they are recommended to the program. But once they recommend a program, we give them a 3 month probationary period where we'll pay 3 months of the gym membership. After 3 months, if they graduate after 3 months, they still didn't like it, and they want to stay with it, then we sponsor them for a whole year.
Oh wow, okay. That is outstanding. I've never heard of a program like this. Do you know of any other programs in the nation that's like this? This is the first I've ever heard of this.
Now, this is the program that I created. I mean, with myself and my staff when we started our nonprofit in 2020, and not that I know of, I created this myself. I mean, for us a probation period.
Wow.
Because when
Wow.
we first started, we didn't have a probation period, but kids just we pay for the kids and they take off. I mean, and
Right.
we out of our money. So now, I mean, it's month by month. After 3 months, you're still there, you enjoy it. We pay the remaining of the year. And with the equipment, too, also, we make them sign a contract where all the equipment we buy them, they cannot keep it for themselves until after a year. Once they graduate a year, the equipment's theirs. If they quit in a year, they got to return our equipment.
Got you. And what's the biggest as far as area wise you've had somebody come from to be a part of your program? Like I know normally it's kids within the community, but have you ever had somebody like the next city over do it?
Yes, we have like just speaking of like we have. I mean, you know my girl, Ayat. She's ranked number 3 in the country. She lives next door. She don't live in a city,
Okay.
and we sponsor her and her little brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely will have Coach Claudie's information towards the end of this podcast so you can get this information. Even if you in state, out of state, you just want to talk to him, he's definitely somebody that has a wealth of knowledge. Let's dive right into it, brother, because I stay there all day, man, and it's like this is supposed to be about you, man. But so coach, how has your experience as a fighter influenced your coaching style as a coach?
Man, a lot. And it's a learning experience. She was being a coach. When I first, I'm only 6 years into being a coach, man. I'm not. I'm 6 years in,
Mhm.
and so that's early. But the stuff that I accomplished, stuff that I learned, and it's always though you want to grow and you don't want to be arrogant. You don't want to be big headed, and that's what I had to learn. Because you can learn from somebody underneath you, and you can still learn from somebody above you. And I take knowledge from both ways. And early on as a coach, I was teaching things where I wanted to teach how I fight. So that was a learning experience. I got to adapt to each fighter's style and how they fight and what they're comfortable with and implement some of the stuff I like and some of the stuff that they like and make them a complete fighter. So every fighter is different. And coach, you got to open your eyes and know who's different, what's the strong point, what's their weak point, and you got to, I mean, and correct both points and just guide them along on their path. You can't make them like you.
Yeah, I'm definitely thoughtful of that. Like when I first started, because I train my son and some other kids as well. I have one and two in particular, my son and another one. Um, but with my son, in the beginning, I'm showing him exactly how I fought, and then after a while, his mentality, his character, is different in a lot of ways for me. So it's like, okay, then like I may have been a little bit more aggressive in this area, but then, he may be more aggressive in an area that I wasn't aggressive in. So I had to, learn him. But then with this new kid that I have, where it's like, man, you know what, man, you got to take your time because you may have, and if you know anything about dogs, and I don't want to set both as an example, but this is how it is. When you see dogs, you may have one dog and another dog. One dog may turn on quicker than the other dog. You may have to get the other dog a
Mhm.
little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? And the same when it correlates as fighters, man. Fighters have to, you may have one kid that's ready to get out there, and go right to it. You might have a kid that may be a little bit more reluctant, so you may have to do a
Exactly.
little bit more other things. So being a coach, as you said, Coach Claudie, is you got to be able to read your individual, your fighter, and I'm pretty sure that goes with the area where they may live at. You may have a kid that's living in the suburbs,
Exactly.
go for both his parents, but then you got somebody else where it's like his mom is on drugs, his dad is, in and out of the system, so he's living in a foster home. Then it's like, I
Yeah.
get it.
Where we
I
come
get it.
from, where we come from, I call it the rough and rugged kids and the suburban kids. And sometimes, honestly, the rough and rugged kids, they got it. It's just we just got to put the skill level there. But as far as their heart, they got it. And man, with the suburban kids, I mean, the skills might be there, but the heart ain't there. And if we know we can't build heart, but what I can do is I can build a confidence. I mean, and I did that with a kid. Like I had a kid, he just won states, and I'm so proud of him because I had him for 3 years, never fought, and I banned him to the Golden Gloves, and he won 3 straight. He's 18 years old. I'm my super heavyweight, and he just won states, but I held him out for 3 years because his confidence level wasn't there. The skill was there. The boy's skills is awesome, but the confidence wasn't there. So I took 3 years mentally to build his mental and his confidence. And he went there for the last 3 weeks and did his thing.
Because you knew, and you as a coach, we have to be able to. It's all about the kids, so we have to be able to say, you know what, I don't mind being around this kid. I love this kid. I'm going ahead to take the time out because you would have had if he would have went to the wrong coach, that coach would have put him in there, broke his spirits, and you and I both know how long it takes to get an individual, confidence back. If it's taken away too early, too quickly. I appreciate that. I appreciate how you did that. I'm definitely taking down notes, Coach. What do you believe sets a champion boxer from a skilled fighter?
A champion boxer is well disciplined. He's going to do it in the gym and outside the gym. He's not going to just, do it in the gym because I tell all my fighters that you can do it in front of me, but I need you to do it behind me. When you outside that gym, what you doing outside? Are you running? Or you get up in the morning to discipline on your diet? You just can't be a champion in the gym. You got to do it all year round. So that's distinguishing a champion and a world champion to me. Do you want to be a champion or you want to be a world champion?
I'm gonna ask you this. Would you agree that also to add on to that, if I said difference between a champion and a skilled fighter is a skilled fighter, when he gets tired, he may find a way to get around it, or he may bow it out. He may bow out and say, you know what, hey, it's too tough for me, so I'm tired. But with the champion, they don't finish until the job is done. They're gonna go all the way through. All the way
and that's
through.
the hard work. That's the hard work.
That's the hard work.
You can have, I believe in talent. I'll take a fighter that's not talented, but is a hard worker any day over a talented fighter. Because if I know he's a hard worker, I can build a talent. I can put that talent in him. I can put the skill set in him. But I got a fighter that's talented, and I do have one. I have a fighter that's talented, but is lazy when it comes to training.
Oh.
I put a fighter that's hard working and it's not as talented as him or her. It's going to beat him or her all day long in the longer rounds.
That's right. That's right. And you see it. I see it. For example, you have some kids their opposition is not as great. So when they fight, even in sparring, they're dusting through everybody in sparring. Even the fights that they've gone around, they may not have the talent, like other kids, and they run off 20 straight. And then they lose that first one. And I've heard of kids, I haven't seen it, but I can imagine. I've heard of kids saying, when they get that first loss, they lose interest and they stop boxing. Or they don't want to do it no more, or it damages their psyche where it's like, you know what? They 20-0 and they going up again against a kid that's like 10-10. Or 7-13. And the other kid, the people that he boxed, the other boxers was way more better, way harder, way tougher. So his level record-wise don't look as good, but his level as far as boxing on the level compared to the other one, it's going to be much, much higher, much, much higher, much more greater. Do you see that a lot?
Yes, I do see that. I do see that. But I want to touch on that point, but a lot of times when I tell my kids, man, in boxing, and it's amateur boxing, man, you're going to take a loss. It's a learning. When we say that all the time, and we let it roll off our tongue, but I say what, like, meaningless. Like, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Take that and learn from them. Why did you lose? How did you lose? What made you lose? Let's go back and correct that. But it's not going to make you or break you on that loss. Mentally, it shouldn't break you. It's an amateur fight. Learn from that and let's move on.
It is, and unfortunately, we live in what have you done for me lately type of world, man. Because back in the day, we watch a fight. I'm just gonna go to the next question after this, but if we watched the fight on TV, it would come on what? We have to wait a week, 2 weeks, even a month to see the replay. These kids are
Yeah,
seeing the fight within milliseconds, man.
yeah,
So I mean, their progression is a lot more advanced and further than us because that's what's gonna happen, because of technology. But Claudie, the work ethic wise, I don't know, man. I think my generation, your generation, would get them.
yeah. We
You
would.
know,
Our work
yeah,
ethic is totally different.
yeah,
I mean, we had totally different values. I mean, it's just we come from a different walk of life.
yeah.
I tell the kids all the time, and sometimes they laugh at me like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, I'm telling y'all. I mean, look at me now. Look, I mean, I outlast a lot of y'all, and I'm
Right,
55. So come on, man.
right,
It's
right.
my worth ethic. My worth ethic is there. Y'all gotta get that worth ethic. You know what I mean?
You 55 and they 15 and they complaining, and you like, come on, man.
Yeah, they complain. I'm saying, when I'm training, I'm like, yo, what you doing right there? I can do it right with you. And sometimes I go there and do it with them to make it open their eye. Like, wow, my coach, like, he in shape. Like, yeah, look, come on, man, y'all complaining. And I'm 55 doing this with y'all. Know what I mean? Come on, let's stop complaining. You want this or
55.
not? That's what I'm telling you.
That's right. That's right. Do you want it? Do you want it? Can Claude, I got a question. Can you share a moment in your coaching career that profoundly had a big impact on your coaching and on your training?
Oh
Well,
man,
well,
yeah.
well, your approach when it came to training, definitely your approach, something that's profoundly just turned everything around for you.
I think what turned everything around for me was early in my stage, my first year and a half, I was rushing my fighters because I was so excited to be a coach
Yeah.
that I wasn't taking the time and looking at the eyesight to see these kids wasn't ready because they had the talent. I was throwing them in fights, throwing them in fights. Man, I had my first, I went 0 and 8. I went 0 and 8 with 8 fighters, 8 different fighters. I was just throwing them in there because I see they had the talent. I was just rushing. I wanted to get an amateur fight. I got my book. I'm like, okay, I'm a coach. Let's go. You ready? And I was 0 and 8, and I was start questioning myself. But I was sat down by one of my senior coaches, like, hey man, take your time. Like you rushing these kids. I mean, these kids ain't built like the way we came up. And I lost them kids. All 8 kids quit.
Really?
They lost. They lost and quit. One stayed for a couple months. He quit too because I was rushing them. Like I said, it's not the heart because in our generation we was thrown in the ring to see what we got.
Yeah.
And we come back the next day. The coach is like, we can work with you. We got heart. You can't do this these days to this generation. It's like they got heart. A lot of them from the street, they got heart. But what you do is you break their confidence. When you break that confidence, they gone.
Yeah.
That don't mean they don't have heart. They got heart. You
Yes.
just broke their confidence. So
Yeah.
that's a turning point in my life where I like, okay, I got to slow down. I got to take my time with these kids. I can't teach them like me. I can't know. I got the heart. I'm gonna go in there and fight. These kids got the talent, but they just we got to build them. We got to build them, and that's what turning point for me.
How how do you balance the technical aspects of boxing with the mental and emotional aspects for your athletes?
Man, I mean, if anybody knows me, technically, I'm a stern believer in technical. But with that being said, the mental part is the major part of boxing. If the mental is not there, I don't care how conditioned they are, how skillful they are, how talented they are, that mental part will take over and they're gonna lose that fight. So how you build that is you build a mental by just constantly reaffirming them, talking to them, sitting down with them, asking them about what they like in boxing, what's their skill set. You got to talk to your boxer, even though you're a coach. You can't just dictate everything on them. You got to give them leeway to talk to you and see what they like, see what they want.
Right.
Then y'all both come together. At the end of the day, you're the head coach. You know what's best for them. But sometimes you got to give your boxers a chance to talk and a chance to express themselves.
So let me ask you this, because me and my wife got a bet on this. We taking a poll, everybody we asking. When it comes to mental and physical, when it comes to any athlete, what's the percentage you'll give it to physical and mental? What is it for each?
Mental, 80%. Mental is 80%. 80%. I truly believe in that. I'm seeing all my past experience from my fighters. Let me get a quick example. I got a pro fighter, female now. She's pro now.
Yeah.
Her stages, and she's an MMA fighter. She's 2-13 in MMA, 2-13.
Mm-hmm.
All her losses, anyone in my amateur fights, her first couple amateur fights, she was losing, but it was a mental thing. She's in shape, skill wise, is awesome.
Right.
But in some kind of ring, she burned out. She was mental. So she went and shut it down. I said, yo, you got to do something. She went to hire a mental coach, a mental therapy coach.
Okay.
And ever since then, she's been winning. It was a mental thing with her. It's a mental block.
Right.
She had a mental coach, and the mental coach prepped her. And after that, she won all her fights, went to turn pro, won, and she's still winning. It was all a mental thing because she had it. It was just right here. She didn't have it. So I think ML is 80%. If you don't believe in yourself, you're gonna lose.
So when she started even coming into the gym and you training her, you definitely could see a difference.
Big difference. Even when we go sparring now, like we go sparring, like she always tell me, coach, tell me when I'm 20 minutes out. I tell her, she puts her headphones on, whatever she does with her mental coach, she's breathing exercise, she's listening to the things she's listening to, just to relax her and get her ready for sparring. Even fight time, she does the same things, the same routines. And she's well relaxed, and that's when she can get off.
I definitely believe in mental health because being a veteran, a Marine Corps, and going to combat, seeing things and seeing other things happen to other individuals, back in the day it was looked at as not being serious, or if somebody had an issue, I remember people in my family, they'll be like, hey, watch out for him. They'll go like that. And you just be like, oh man, stay away from. But it really is, it's something that I'm glad that the world is taking accountability of, because it doesn't matter, man. Just PTSD is just extreme stress, and it doesn't matter if you went to war, or if you just born in a warm type of environment, your hood where you live at, take care of yourself. And, I thank you for sharing that, Coach Claudie, about your athlete, so take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. What role does strength conditioning play in preparing boxers for success in the ring?
Oh man, I speak high on that because I'm a strength conditioning coach. I mean, tremendously, man. The strength conditioning, it's a new. I'm not gonna say it's a new form of boxing because, a lot of old school coaches don't believe in the weights and strength training and all that stuff. They still believe in the old ways. But the new wave is taking over, man. That strength training is very important. That conditioning is very important, and you got to know what you're doing in strength conditioning. And I'm not talking down on no coaches. A lot of these coaches don't know what they're doing. They just reading off the books. They're looking at videos and they copycat. No, you got to know the pulse rate. You got to know the breath rate. You got to know all this, man, to calculate it. And each fight has different zones, different fat burning zone. You got to know all this stuff. And I'm well experienced in that. That's my trademark. So my fighters are the best in shape. And I'm known for that. So when I go to fights, all the coaches are going to say, they always tell me, they say, if you find Claudie fighter, they're going to be in tip-top shape and they fundamentally sound. That's what I'm known for. So they tell them, if you find Claudie's fighter, they fundamentally sound and they do them kids is in shape. Coach, so that's what I'm going to be known for.
Can you give me an example of something you would do preparing like the first week when you got to go to nationals in 6 weeks? What would be the first thing you do first day of those 6 weeks preparing going to the nationals?
When we start our training on the first week is just, basically bringing them back into the muscles. It's nothing overworking. It's light workouts. Just getting their muscles adapted, getting used to the workouts again. So we doing light strength conditioning. There's no sparring the first week. I don't get into sparring until like 2-3 weeks in. It's just a lot of conditioning workouts. We do mid work. A lot of strength training, just to get the muscle adapted to it. The first week is just strength conditioning. We ain't doing we're not touching, we're hitting bags and all that. But as far as ain't no physical contact.
So building that confidence, working on their character. Starting them slowly, and each week you build on top of that, so they're gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. Which is the smart thing to do.
You want them to peak at the right time.
Exactly.
You want them to peak at the right time.
Exactly. And making sure that they are not overworked, because you and I both know in this game there's a lot of burnout. We've seen individuals that come on hard and they fizzle out, man. That's tough.
That's the overtraining. That's the overtraining that some coaches make mistake of. Overtraining their fighters. And you also got to tell the fighters too, because a lot of fighters, I mean, when they want to overtrain themselves, you got to tell them, look, don't do whatever you do in the gym, you're done. Don't go home and do nothing else. I mean, some fighters, what they want to overtrain, they want to go home, run 3 or 4 miles. Listen, it's a 3-round fight in the amateurs. 3-round, 3 minutes tops. Know what I mean? You got to develop your fast twitch muscle more than your slow twitch muscle. The fast twitch muscle is the most important thing. So it's a lot of speed work. You know what I mean? It's a lot of speed work.
A lot of speed work, and I've seen a lot of coaches that do it, but the kid is only going a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Nothing wrong with 3 minutes, but they have them going 3 minutes. They have them going 3 minutes, and it's 12 rounds. You'd be like, "What are you doing? You're slowing their pace down.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not. You're not." They don't understand that. They think that's why I'm glad there is education that you have to go ahead and do, because things change. And you and I both know in USA boxing, it can change in a millisecond. Whatever's working right here, it's going to change. If you don't get the facts or the email on it, boom, you're out of the loop, man.
Out the loop.
So
and us as coaches, we got to adapt too. You know what I mean?
Yes, without a doubt. Hey, Claudia, how do you foster the camaraderie and teamwork environment, when it comes to your boxing club?
That's the most important thing. Team camaraderie is the most important thing. So how I build team camaraderie with my fighters, we do a lot of group training.
Okay.
But with that being said, I separate my groups from my A, B, and C. My A being advanced, my B being middle course, and my C being beginners. But in them 3 groups, you know what I mean, they get to know each other. Then once a week, I throw all of them together.
Yeah.
And we doing drills. And that's built team camaraderie. And now they're getting to know each other, they talking to each other. Then we doing drills one-on-one with, I pair them up. Okay. Then I switch them. Other people. So that way you get to know everybody. You know what I mean? Because I got 23 fighters I train. So I want to all of them get to know each other. Now they close. Camaraderie is called after fighting. As us as a coaches, I'm a coach in a gym. I'm your friend outside the gym. We do things. We do team sports together. Hershey Park, amusement park. We go movies, dinners, fight parties. We have fight party coming up April 20th. All the fighters come to my house. We have a fight party. That's how you build team camaraderie with your fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to that. Especially you coaches, he's not overworking to the point where it's like work hard, go home, repeat, do it all over again. No, and I'm pretty sure you can tell some days where it's like you're gonna train them, Claudie, but then you see how they are, and you may be like, you know what, hey, let's switch it up. Well, let's do some other things. And you have to, and that's where it takes in reading your fighter. Please don't overburn your fighter, because that is bad when your fighter goes in there and they overtrain. I personally, Claudia, would have a fighter that's undertrained and overtrained.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that, because just last night, you're 100% right. You gotta listen to your fighter sometime. Last night, to one of my fighters, he was sitting there, he felt out of place. I seen his face expression. So I said, "Yo, man, give me my 2 miles. You don't like running." He don't like running. I mean, I gotta make him run. Give me my 2 miles. Come on. He said, "You sure?" Of course, I said, "Give me my 2 miles." I said, "How you feeling?" He said, "I'm sore from sparring yesterday." Oh, Wednesday. It was Wednesday. He was sparring. I'm sore from sparring. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. Wednesday was sparring. I said, "You know what? You ain't got to run. You sure, coach? You ain't gonna be mad?" I said, "Nah. Listen to your body. Relax. You're done for the night." I cut him short, and he appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah. What strategies do you employ to keep your athletes motivated during grueling training sessions? So it's
strategies.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot, man. It's so much. I might talk about their opponent. I might tell them, I mean, that this opponent's gonna beat you. I play a lot of mind game with them. You think, I mean, that when they spawn or whatever, you think you're gonna fight? You think you're gonna beat this guy like this? I mean, that's how you're gonna fight him. And sometimes I have to pull him to the side and I'm like, "Hey, I mean, what are you thinking about? What can we do different? What do you want to implement in this camp that's going to win you this fight?" So it's both ways. I listen to them too.
Okay.
Because sometimes they want to throw some things in that they want to work on, and sometimes the coach, I got to say yes or no. I mean, I can't always be the dictator.
Right. Definitely. It definitely is a relationship. I'm learning that, every day. What
Every day.
you and I was on a high performance team together, the junior. You being a high performance coach, what do you think is one of the biggest challenges you've come across so far?
Man, you know what? It's the hatred. It's the hatred with the other coaches.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, you're a high performance coach, man. That don't mean nothing. But I didn't go there to be. I didn't go there to say, look what I did.
Right.
I wanted it because I wanted to learn and help improve myself and help improve my fighters. Because if I improve myself as a coach, I'm gonna improve my fighters. And I mean, so I don't. I don't say I'm a high performance coach and be boast my chest. I'm proud to be a high performance coach because I learned a lot from that. There's a lot of stuff I took from that I can use in my training, what I have been using. Some stuff I don't. But the stuff I use, it really helped my fighters and work. And it's a change of my fighters' fight style or the way they train. I brought something new into our gym. I mean, and they got excited. So you always got to keep your fighters motivated. That's one of the ways I keep myself motivated. Always implement new things into their training regimen.
No, you without a doubt, man. This is Mr. Motivation 1000% for real. Like I said, like camp would have been tough if you wasn't there, Claudie, for real. And I'm saying on everybody, man, for real, man. Like remember, I think it was did we no, we didn't go out. It was you. All right, so when we was in camp, we had a night where we had to go check on the kids. And me and Claudia the entire time, Claudia was there the year before, and Claudia was saying like how he said, man, them raccoons out there, the
Yeah.
raccoons big. They big like Ewoks. So I'm a city kid. If you from the country, you deal with that. That's your realm, that's your environment. But if you a city kid, yo, you don't want to see no rat, no nothing. Man, I'm glad I did not see no raccoons while I was there. I saw like, traces when they put a garbage out or, you could tell they've been around. But I did see tarantulas, man. And they was all over the place. They had rattlesnakes out
Huge.
there. They had everything out there, man, for real.
Everything out there.
Bunny rabbits come out late at night, and I'm just like, oh man, what are all these still out here?
Man, we out in the desert.
In the ravine. It was like deep within, and you got mountains all around. Beautiful area, but
Beautiful lake.
definitely beautiful lake. Definitely beautiful lake. Hey, do you have any boxes that you can share a specific story about that has overcome a lot of adversity and that is successful right now when it comes to boxing? It turned their whole life around.
Oh yes. He's not from the gym from the gym I left from. Man, it's so many. But I'm a pinpoint one. It was a kid. He's not my fighter. It's another coach fighter. They came. He had a home. His mom's drunk drugs. His dad's in and out of jail. He was living home to home. He was homeless at times. Aunts, uncles, selling drugs. So one of his friends, childhood friend, brought him to the gym. Said, Coach, I mean, he needs this. And he told the coach, I need this. He came to the gym like he's 14, 15. And that changed his whole life. He went all the way to Golden Gloves, lost in the finals to Boots, to Ron Enos. He lost to Boots in the finals.
Wow.
Turned pro.
Uh-huh.
He went 4-0 with us. I mean, and he left us, went to another gym and lost 3 fights. But now he's back with that gym. He's back with the old gym that I was at. But when he left us, he was 4-0.
Okay.
He turned
Okay.
his whole life around. Now he loves box. He's a gym rat. Like he's there every day. That's his second home.
Do you
And
want
he's
to
married, got 3 kids. I mean,
really?
working. I mean,
That's
living a beautiful, honest life.
salute to that brother, man. Definitely, man, for change your life around and take care of your family and everything, and just being a pillar in the community, man. That's definitely appreciated, and that's the reasons why we do this job as coaches
Yeah.
to, be impactful and be a great role model when it comes to these individuals, man. For real, I do remember there's a handful of people that I do remember to this day, and if I was to see them, Claudia, I'm no shadow of doubt. I run up to them, I'm hugging them, I'm kissing them, I'm telling them like, thank you, man, thank you, because you impacted my life, man, in some way, shape, or form. Um, what is the training difference between training a female and a male when it comes to you?
A female, to me, a lot of coaches don't like training females. I have the most females in my area. I train I think 10 or 11 females. Females are they easy to learn. They want it. To me, they want it more. They pay attention very, very well. They have their days where, I mean, they womanhood cycle and all that stuff, but they want to learn. They want to learn, and they take you in, and we take them in like all my fighters are family, but they more like this is my daughter. You know what I mean, this is how I treat them. I mean, this is like my daughter because like I said, Letitia, my pro, she's been with me for 6 years. She's like my daughter, man.
Wow.
I mean, but they very learning wise, they learn faster than men. Be honest.
Okay. How do you incorporate mental conditioning in the visualization of techniques when it comes to coaching? When it comes to your coaching philosophy. So basically this. We in the third round, going into the third round, come back, second round is even. 1-1. I won the first round. He got the second round big. So I gotta pull it in. And I'm down. Pretty much, but I'm down. What are you gonna do to get me to visualize in my head? You know what, man? I gotta go all out. I gotta win this third round big. What are you gonna go ahead and do, coach?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask. Man, that's the most important thing because you got to know your fighter and you got to be a great motivator, which I know I am. Yeah. Remember, we only got 1 minute between rounds. That's our last round. We know it's tied up or they losing. You got to know how to get in your fighter's head. You got to know how to motivate them. You got to know how to do that. You got to know how to speak to them, hit that pressure point where, okay, it's time to rock and roll. So I know how to hit that part. You got to know, when it comes to that, you got to know your fighter. What buttons you push to make them go out there and go all out. You got to know as a coach. And every fighter, I know what buttons to push. Just by being around them, working with them, by sparring, everything. Yeah. I know what button to push to make them go all out. And sometimes you got to be boisterous. Sometimes you got to holler. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to holler. I didn't see coach. I don't do it. I ain't gonna lie. I did it. My national champion last year, 2 years ago, he playing around third game. He winning the fight, but he coming back laughing and putting his hands down. I had to smack him.
Hey.
Yo, wake the heck up.
You had to make a judgment call. You had to make a judgment call.
Wake up, bro. What are you talking about? You got your hands down. You playing with this dude. Stop doing that. Man, you a heavyweight. One punch, you out of there.
Yeah.
I smacked him. That woke him up, though. He went out there with his hands up.
No.
I mean, I smacked him. I had to.
To this day, I remember I'm on the punching bag. I'm hitting the bag. OG. He says, "Hey, put your hand up." I'm like, "Yeah, Bop, 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 bop. Put your hand up, youngin. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, Put him up. Bop, bop, bop. Hey, he came around, Claudie. He was on the opposite side with a pad. Hit me in my face, and my whole right ear was ringing, man. Hit me with a left hook. My ear was ringing throughout that entire practice. I never dropped my hands after that, Claudie. Sometimes pain is the cure-all, bro.
I'm a stickler for that. When it comes to them, see, I hold paddles. I'm a stickler for putting your hands up. All my fighters, they got a joke with me. You don't put your hand with Coach Claudia, he gonna smack the heck out of them paddles. I tell them all the time. I'd rather hit you with this paddle, your ears ringing all day, than you get in the ring getting knocked out by a punch.
Exactly.
Know what I mean? Exactly. So that's I smack them. When they have his hand, I don't even tell them. I might one time. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Bop. Yep. Know what I mean? And I'll keep on doing it every time they get their hands down.
Hey.
But they learn quick. You
guys gotta learn quick. I'm serious, man. Like, keep your hands up. Do it. It's better to learn inside the gym than outside the ring. I mean, outside the gym, like you said, you get to a real competition and then you get dropped or you get hurt or you get embarrassed. You don't want to go through that. So learn within the confines of your gym with your coach. And if you like, most of us are like Coach Claudia, they will go ahead and do that so that you learn early, Coach, man, you got a very, 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 very successful organization, brother. So I want to
Thank you.
know what is the key to being successful with the amateur and professional boxing program? What's the
I
keys?
mean, the key is your sincerity and your background. I mean, how you relate to how you relate to these kids. I mean, like my background is extensive for us. I'm in a criminal background where I've been in jail. I mean, I'm not afraid to talk about it. Everybody knows I was in state penitentiary for 15 years. I did 15 years straight. But when I came home, I turned my whole life around.
Yeah.
I've been home for 22 years now. Turned my whole life around, own my own businesses. I got 3 businesses I own. So when the kids hear from me,
Mm-hmm.
they listen because they know I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me nothing about the streets. So when I talk, they shut up. And a lot of the kids that don't know me, their parents know me. So their parents say, yo, I know Claudia when he was, China man. He ain't no joke. Look at it. Listen to him. If he got something to tell you, listen to him. He know what he's talking about. So that right there gives me my respect when I talk. Because they know I came from there. I can relate 100% to what they going through. And
Right.
the kids need that. They rather listen to somebody who's been on the street, who's been in that lifestyle, somebody ain't never been in a lifestyle trying to tell them to do.
Right.
So the sincerity in your background plays a part. Big part.
Brother, we thank you. Thank you for being a pillar in the community and being a big time mentor, man, because you're changing lives and these kids you need you and just like we need these kids, bro. We need these kids.
Yes, we
What if
do.
what advice would you give a new coach that's looking to make an impact in the sport of boxing? What advice would you give them?
Slow down,
Hmm.
learn your craft, be open minded to learn from anybody. Don't be arrogant. Just be open minded to learn from anybody. It can be underneath you or above you, and continue learning. Don't not be complacent. Don't get you a high level. And say, okay, I ain't gotta learn no more because you gotta learn. We gonna continue to learn as a coach. I don't care how old you are, how successful you are. You gotta learn every day to keep on making yourself better, coach, to make your fighter better.
Good answer. I want to ask you this though. Um, I think I know, but I'd like to hear your answer and let the people know. How do you prioritize safety and well-being for your athletes uh, while still pushing them to reach their full potential?
That's very important. Safety is very important. Don't overwork your fighters, especially in sparring. You got to know when your fighters taking too much punishment. Don't be the old school coach who say, man, get back out there. No, you got to see this. And you got to see it in their physical well being for us outside the ring, how they train and how their body reacting to certain exercises. If you see them shutting them down, they can't do the exercise they usually do, something's wrong. Sometimes you got to just let them sit down and just shut it down for the day. Or it might be 2 days. Sometimes tell them, hey, look, take the week off. I mean,
Yeah,
don't overwork your fighters, man. Don't stress them out because they kids. They're gonna do everything you tell them. But if
yeah.
you don't know, you can't read their body. I mean, it's a problem.
We're in a sport where ego matters, and Eagles, you got a lot of individuals with egos.
Yes.
Big, huge, humongous. Um, and what you said was a lot of coaches are doing that and not stopping these sparring matches and allowing they fighters to get hurt is because it's their egos. You know,
Mhm.
you're not in that ring taking them punches. So you got to remember, man. Like I know what my fighter is, Claudia, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way. But I feel everything, and there were some kids that I linked up with
Yeah.
in camp that that was under me, and I'm just like when they would spar, first and foremost, hey, shout out to Isaac Garcia for winning the Nationals, man. You remember Aizen? Man, he won the
Yeah.
Nationals.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations,
Yes.
Aizen, man. Congratulations
Yes.
to you, brother, man. One love to you. Big up from me and Coach Claudie. But
Yes, sir. That's my man.
yeah, but yeah, man, you gotta know when to pull the plug. You gotta know when to stop. And I was talking to a coach the other day, and he was saying like, "Hey, you know who he is, man? Coach Dawood Bay. Shouts out to Coach Dawood Bay from Philly. He mentioned you. He said, yeah, man. He said you gotta know when to pull the plug. You gotta know when to stop. You gotta know when to say like, all right, ain't no problem. Like you a little bit overmatched. I thought you ready. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And you go back and you work and you bring them back later when they be stronger. And I think that's one of
Yeah.
the biggest things because I see coaches where it's like they want to pull the plug or they want to throw that towel in, but it's like I would prefer to go ahead and throw that towel in. You be mad at me all you want to. We train harder, come back. And I know you're gonna be thinking about that and you say, look, I never want that to happen. I will never want that to happen again. You have to have those type of things happen. Have you ever had an instance like that? I know you have, but can you give me one example where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do this, but it made that individual better though.
Yeah. Just you talking about sparring or fighting or in a
Um,
competition?
uh, competition.
I never had that. I never had that in a competition where I had to pull somebody,
Okay,
but
okay.
I had it in
So
sparring
sparring.
several times.
Okay,
I had it
sparring.
in sparring several times where the kid was getting, let me just getting handled.
Gotcha.
And you said it 100%. A lot of time you're like, man, okay, I'm getting embarrassed. No, you're not getting embarrassed. I mean, that kid is getting embarrassed because you're not the one fighting.
Yeah.
You think so we gotta take a step out and step out of that foot realm and thinking we're fighting. No, our kid is fighting. Let's pull him. I mean,
So
let's pull, and I don't care. And sometimes you pull the kid, they get mad. I don't care about your attitude, man. You getting handled in there. I mean, I'm looking out for your safety. So that's the most important thing to me, looking out for their safety. Even when we have open house sparring, just the other day, a team came in and went a ham on, and our kid went ham on him. And usually when an outside team come in, that's what you want to do. But I don't believe in that. I believe in like, okay, when you went ham on him, all right, let's slow it down. Okay, because at the end of the day, that's still a kid. I mean, let's respect that kid and his coach because okay, you got out on him and stop getting out on that. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. You're hurting that kid.
it's really good that you said that, coach, because I've seen coaches do the gladiator sparring and it doesn't do anything. You and I both know a lot of the hurt injuries happen in training camp.
Exactly.
Don't nobody go in there 100% hardly. But I'm glad you said that, man, because I've done it many times where I'm like, oh, slow it down. Just work something, work your defense now, or work one hand, or don't go as hard, pull those punches back some. So I'm glad you said that. And I'm seeing coaches starting to do that though. I am. I have seen coaches start to do it more. I see coaches go from 30-second rest to a minute rest where they're realizing, you know what, that 30 seconds ain't gonna do anything, man. What you need to do is you need to work on your conditioning and training. Then you come to sparring and then
Yes.
and then you go live with it. So I'm starting to see that. So, before I didn't have a lot of hope, but I'm seeing a lot of coaches, starting to get educated when it comes to, strength conditioning, doing certain things, or asking questions, so that's what you got to do. You got to get up and get out and really do something. Coach Claudie,
Yes.
can you discuss your community involvement and outreach through your nonprofit organization Unite Central PA?
Yes. We've been in existence since July 2020,
Okay.
and I believe in giving back. We do a lot of community events. Matter of fact, we have one coming up, Easter candy handout. Well, man, we have three big events a year. We do our Easter, we do our back to school event where we have a bunch of book bags, brand new book bag, all kinds of school supplies, and people come. We just hand them out. We have our trunk or treat. We do a Christmas event. So it's all about giving back, and this is money coming out of our pockets through our sponsors, grants to be given through our nonprofit. It's about giving back to the community because I mean I didn't have the asset. I didn't have the assets when I was growing up. So I
Yeah.
want to give it to back here, let them know that look, this is the guy that came from the street like y'all did,
Yeah.
that's willing enough to help you out to get back. Because like I said before, and people don't understand this, if you have a community event, for that 6-7 hours you have it, somebody's not dying, somebody's not getting shot, somebody's not selling drugs.
That's right.
Just for that 6 hours, that makes a big difference.
Yes, sir.
And in that 6 to 7 hours, you can maybe change the kid's mind by not doing that because you're interacting with them the positive way. Like saying, hey, look what you can do better. That 6 to 7 hours, you can convince the kid's mind. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm willing to take that chance that at 6 to 7 hours, I can convince one kid not to go back out there and do that. So that's my way of giving back. When I'm giving back, I'm also trying to educate them.
You are. You're doing an outstanding job. That's why it leads to my next question. What is the legacy you would like to leave behind with your coaching career and and with your United Central PA?
Man, the legacy I'm gonna leave behind that, man, I was a kind-hearted individual that came from the street, that changed his whole life, that gave back to his community. Because I remember when I was young, doing all the dirt I did, I hurt my family. When I say family, I'm not just talking about my immediate family, I'm talking about my whole community. So how I sleep at night is giving back. Now I can sleep at night. I feel good about myself because I remember all the dirt I did. I was a bad individual, man. I was terrible. I had no, I had no, I was terrible. I was like I was a terrible person. So now me giving back, it's like clings to my soul, and that's how I look at it.
You're passionate when you said it, and how you say, like I truly believe, and I see it in your eyes where you're like, you know what, man, I used to be a certain way, and like I'm not that way. But you ever look reflect yourself and say, like, man, like the things I used to do, I can't believe, like I would think I would get away with that, or like how did I walk around like that? Do you kind of, because I watch Mike Tyson a lot of his interviews, and Mike is like, you know what? It makes me ill.
Yeah,
It makes me feel a certain way, like how I used to be, and I know how he feels. Because there's the Steve Stokes where it's like, Lord, if you would seen that, you definitely would be like, nah, I'm definitely not messing around with you, man. Um, I
yeah,
appreciate you for sharing that story because you didn't have to, but I thank you for keeping it real with me. And for a young man, a young woman, if you seeing this and you feel like there's something you want to do, don't do it, man. Think about it, man. And something that was big to me growing up was being around a lot of elders, a lot of older people. Always remember this, young people. You have somebody your age, you ain't gonna learn nothing from them. Always go to somebody older because they've been there, done that, and done it 3 times over. Trust me, they ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing that they ain't never did. It's just a different time. That's all. And they call it
yeah.
something different now. But I
It goes in
appreciate
circles. Man. It's
it
like,
goes in circle. It goes in circle. Thank you, Coach Claudie. Um, can you share a memorable moment from your coaching journey that reaffirmed your passion for the sport of boxing?
yeah, making that youth team. I mean, going up there in the camp
Uh-huh.
and just realizing, man, that I can do things, man. Coming from where I came from and being selected as a coach, man. To me, I don't care what nobody says. That was a proud. I was a great accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
I felt great that from where I came from and being up there with them peoples. That man, that's a great accomplishment for me. Great accomplishment.
Right, right. Huge. Because you got a lot of people that that still ain't here, unfortunately,
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
big ups, brother. You definitely like I said, you definitely made it memorable. What motivates you to continue pushing the boundaries of excellence in coaching, in the coaching year after year after year after year after year? So what keeps you just keep going year after year after year?
Man, I love the sport, man. I love this. I live for like right now. I can't wait to go back to the gym. 4 o'clock, I'm back there with my kids. Man, it's just the camaraderie I built with my kids. Like that's my second home. So to go back there and just continue, man, and just to see that you build somebody from the grassroots, from the ground up, to become a champion, man, that inspires me to continue doing it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that you can build somebody from the ground. It came out as somebody walk in the gym, didn't know how to box at all, didn't know nothing about boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and you created this person. And now they're national champion, Golden State champion, whatever, international champion. You did this, so that inspires me to keep on doing it. And as I'm doing it, I'm keeping kids off the street. I'm changing kids' lives.
You are. You definitely are, man. You definitely are an angel, man, an archangel, I should say. You definitely down here like you remember that show with Michael Landon? What was that? Well, Highway to Heaven. Remember that show,
Yeah,
Highway
how
to
would
Heaven?
happen?
He was the angel and he come in, he was in a different body each time.
Yeah,
That might be you, brother. For real. That might be
God willing, man.
I got willing, inshallah. Hey, let's wrap up. Do you have any sponsors or anyone you would like to give a shout out to? And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
man, I like to shout out all my sponsors: Pepsi, D&M Coatings, John Davis, Patrick Glenn. Man, if I'm missing spot, I know I have so many sponsors. Man, they are the people, the catapult that help us get the national tournaments, doing my events, stuff like that. Man, they sponsor. Every national tournament I've been to, it's been sponsored and paid. Everything's paid for to get my kids to these national tournaments, including myself. So I shout out to them. If you want to follow me, man, I'm on Instagram as Fit Forever, FIT, the number 4, ever 365.
You heard that. You heard that. Well, as we conclude another captivating episode of Coach Stokes' Champion Creed, we extend our deepest gratitude to Coach Claudia Kenyon. Thank you, brother. I salute you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
For sharing his wealth of knowledge and experiences with us. His unwavering commitment to the sport of boxing and dedication to nurturing champions is truly commendable. Remember, greatness is not achieved overnight, but through persistence, passion, and the guidance of mentors like Coach Kenyon. Join us next time as we continue to explore the champion's journey and the coaches who make it possible. This is Coach Stokes reminding you to embrace the creed of champions in every aspect of your life. Keep striving, keep believing, and keep championing greatness. Also remember what makes a champion: the foods you eat, the times you sleep, the friends you keep, the knowledge you seek, and the words you speak. My name is Coach Stokes, and I'm out.